check, nigga, when they got gold chains. House full of hoes, so you know I'm gon' slay. If my nigga go ride, then we all gon' pay. Gotta let the kids these days, mama, we don't get high, we get lit these days. I don't even trip these days, thank God I ain't gotta hit a lick these days. It's 6 in the morning, been gone and your girl still calling. In love with the money and music, no need to prove it, girl, you know. This is how we do it. I need some weed and some liquor for all of my bitches. This is how we do it. I came to the party tomorrow with all of my niggas. This is how we do it. I step in the spot and they screaming out, guess who's back? This is how we do it. Cause you know I never come back on the old school track. Once upon a time, not long ago, a couple niggas on road try to stop my glow. They was all up on the gram trying to post for show. Meanwhile, Jacuzzi getting 10 racks to show. I mean, that's what's up. Shorty back it up. I ain't really tripping, baby. You know they acting tough. I heard they putting out a tape and got a record for me. I know they mad cause everybody checking for me. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the golden child of them all? Then the mirror replied as I held up my laugh. She said nobody in the city really fucking with jazz, nigga. This is how we do it. I need some weed and some liquor for all of my bitches. This is how we do it. I came to the party tomorrow with all of my niggas. This is how we do it. I step in the spot and they screaming out, guess who's back? This is how we do it. Cause you know I never come back on the old school track.
Whatever it is, the party's underway. So take off your cup and throw your hands up and let me hear the party say, this is how we do it.
I need some weed and some liquor for all of my bitches.
This is how we do
I
it.
came to the party tomorrow with all of my niggas.
This is how we do
I
it.
step in the spot and they screaming out, guess who's back?
This is how we do it.
Cause you know I never come back on the old school track.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it.
What is going on, FDC? It's your host, T-Dub110. I am also owner of FDC, and we are about to tell you how we do things around here. So, the way this is going to work is we're going to go through the rule book a little bit and just go over some things. Also, in between subjects, we're going to do Q&As, so if you guys have any questions about those subjects we just went over, I will be more than happy to answer them. So, let's go ahead and jump into it. And again, I just want to apologize for moving the time up. I got scheduled to work tonight, so that's why it changed from 9 p.m. to 11 a.m. Also, FDC is presented by Plantronics Gaming and sponsored by Insane Labs and Top Label. So, going over the rulebook, we won't go over the table or the code of conduct so much because there is so much there. I'll let you guys read that on your own time. But it is sections 1 through 3. Section 4 is vehicle requirements. I have been getting a lot of questions about that. So let me scroll down and get to it here. So on vehicle requirements, whatever vehicle you sign up with in the driver search event, at least this season, that's what... sorry for the background noise, guys. I am at my buddy's house this weekend. But so whatever vehicle you sign up with for the driver search event this season, that's what vehicle you have to use throughout the entire season. You cannot change cars. So in future seasons, and we'll get more into depth with that later on. But once you sign up with the car you sign up with on the first event, if you qualify for the next season out of this season, which we're taking the top 24 in points, that's also the vehicle you must use for the remainder of the season. So no special or oversized vehicles. So like Hoonigan, Hot Wheels, Forza editions that can only run race tires. Forza editions that you can put sport tires on because we only allow sport tires. You can use those. Trucks are not allowed. I had a question last night about this. Why can't we use Maloos? So there's a little bit misunderstanding there. So you cannot use trucks, and then right in parentheses, right after in the rule book, it says Utes, Maloos, and El Caminos are acceptable. So anything along those lines are acceptable. So no SUVs or Jeeps, because Jeeps are their own category. I don't care what anybody says. FD cars are allowed as long as you don't have race tires. So if you can throw sport tires on them, they are allowed as well. Because we're trying to go for the Formula Drift feel, where you're not too limited on what you can use, but there are some things you can't use because of the size and the type of things you can put on them. So obviously, must be rear-wheel drive. Has to be S-Class or lower, guys. It cannot be in the R-Class. Any tune or parts are acceptable, except for tire compounds and the roll cage. You can only use sport tires, like I said before, and you must have a full race cage. Because not only do we want it performing like as if it was a Formula Drift car, we also want that aesthetic. So moving on to registration and sign up. I would do a Q&A, but I see that we don't have any viewers at the moment. A few people running late. We did make the announcement on Discord and our Instagram that we were doing this at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So anyway, moving on to registration. You must register by the deadline. So usually 1 week before the first qualifying date for the event. I actually need to fix that because there's only one qualifying date now for each event. But anyway, 1 week before qualifying, that is the last sign-up day, guys, for an event. So make sure that you sign up. So I believe we'll get more into it, but if I remember right, sorry guys, been real busy, but if I remember right, we are doing December 14th qualifying for the driver search. Don't take my word on that until we get more into it. So December 7th would be the cutoff date if that is the case. So registration will open at the beginning of the year. I need to edit that as well because registration for the driver search is already open. You guys can go ahead and get a car going and get that set up and signed up. But the way we will do that for the season is registrations will open up for an event. So like the first one will probably open up at the beginning of the year because we should have a schedule by then. And then after that, a registration for an event will immediately open the day after an event. So once an event's over, then signups will be open the next day for the following event. When registering, drivers must fill out the form as it asks. So make sure you're filling out to the best you can and as descriptive as we ask. Just because when you guys sign up, it puts it on a kind of like an Excel form, like Microsoft, but for Google. Oh, Google Sheets, that's what it's called. It puts on Google Sheets, so then everything's listed, and it's just easier to read if you guys put in as much info as you can, especially on the car year, make, and model. Don't get that backwards. Make is who makes it. Model is the car, so don't get that confused. Whatever your most recent submission is when signups close, that is the car you must use. So, like I said, once you sign up with a car, that is your car you're stuck with. And if you can put in multiple sign-up sheets, but whatever your most recent one is, that's the one we're going to take. So make sure that's the car you're comfortable with. And then now we're getting into section 6. Still haven't gotten any questions in the chat. I don't think. Oh, yep, we do. Let's see here. What's up, Shiftlock? What's up, Lucky? So we just covered registration and sign up. I don't know if you have any questions on that, but you guys can go ahead and start putting that in the chat while I'm going over section 6, which is event driving rules during qualifying and battles. Guys, after a run during qualifying battles, you cannot drift back to the start. You must drive without kicking it sideways or anything like that. If it's an accident, it's an accident, but you will get warned, and most likely a second time in the same event, you will be disqualified. So you must park where told and must stay there without moving until called up to run. So we do have burnout boxes and places for the drivers to park. So make sure you are watching the full course previews, not just the ones on Instagram, guys. The ones we put on Instagram is just what a run should look like. It doesn't point out where the clips are. It doesn't point out where you're supposed to park, where the burnout box is, nothing like that. So if you want to figure out all that stuff, you need to go to our YouTube at Forza DC. That's 2 words, Forza, and then DC is a word. So go subscribe to that so that way you get notified whenever a course preview comes up. The one for the driver search is up right now. So if you guys haven't checked it out, you probably need to, because those few months are going to come quick. Also, you can only get new tires after every set of runs. So the way ESDA does it, they do it until the battle's over. I wanted to do it a little bit differently because, like I said, we're going for more of the Formula Drift feel. So after your 2 runs, you can go get tires, and while you guys are going to get tires, we'll go ahead and move straight to the next pair, just like Formula Drift does. And then, of course, with the burnout boxes, like I was saying, you can warm up your tires before a run. Moving on to Section 7, the upcoming schedule. So here we go. The only one we got in so far is driver search, guys, but we'll also go over the tracks for the upcoming season. So the 2019 driver search at Catalunya, this is the driver search for to get in to 2020 season. So signups closed December 7th, like I said before, so I was right on the dates. December 7th, 2019, they will close at midnight, 11:59 that day. That will be the absolute cutoff, because we're expecting a big turnout, so we need at least a week to prepare. Especially since we're going to try to fit qualifying into one day, just like Formula Drift does. So qualifying is the following Saturday on December 14th, 2019, and competition is the following Sunday, December 15th, 2019. So here's the upcoming schedule for the 2020 season, guys. We are doing almost exact track layouts of the 2019 Formula Drift season. So it's going to be just like you're visiting those tracks, but online. So round 1, obviously, going to be Long Beach, and it's going to be the full track. Still don't have dates on that yet, guys. Because I know ESDA is the biggest drifting competition out there right now for Forza, and I don't want to contradict with their events, so I'm waiting until they release their schedule to release ours, so that way we can schedule around it. I don't want to be taking drivers from them, and I definitely don't want them taking drivers from us. So round 2, Orlando. In other words, Lime Rock full track. So I won't release a section of that yet. You guys can try to guess all you want, but the section will not be released till the schedule is released. When the schedule is released, I will release all course previews all at once. So then round 3 is Road Atlanta, obviously full track. Everybody should know how FD runs that track. It's the keyhole. It's not hard to figure it out at all. So then round 4 is New Jersey. It's going to be on the Mugello Club Circuit. Again, you guys can figure that out on your own. And I will release course previews eventually. So then round 5 is Seattle, which is going to be on Road America full alternate. Then we move to round 5, St. Louis, my hometown, and my co-owner, Full Zombie 451. It's also his hometown. As of right now, Lucky, we do not have staff spots open, but if some open up, we will be putting it in the Discord and on Instagram. All right, moving on. So I put down it's on Suzuka, but it is not on Suzuka. We had it planned for St. Louis to be on Suzuka when we thought they were still running the old layout. So it's going to be on a different layout. 1 second, guys. I might be able to pull it up here on my phone. But as that's coming up, moving on to round 6 is Texas. That's going to be on Maple Valley full circuit. Let's see here. Get my captures up. All right. Anyway, and then finally round 7, it's going to be Irwindale. It's going to be on Sonoma Grand Prix track. So let me see here. I might be able to have the track up. Okay, so make sure you guys are paying attention to this. St. Louis will be on Silverstone on the Grand Prix circuit. So just remember that, guys, because I need to go in and change it. Just like I said, I need to go in and change a few things on the rule book, just to kind of update it, because this was back when we were going to do our 128 car once a year event earlier this summer, and just didn't have the staff to do it. And moving on to Section 8, qualifying. You must show up for your registered qualifying time slot. If you need to change your time slot, message TW110 on Xbox. So yeah, just message me on Xbox, guys, if you need to change your time slot, because you guys get to pick it. And like I said, once sign-up's closed, that's your set time slot. So if you need to change it, you got to let me know before that comes. And that's moving on to the next thing on the rulebook. You have until your time slot starts to change your time. Otherwise, it will be an automatic disqualification. We aren't waiting 30 minutes to disqualify you like we did with FHDL. That just took way too much time. So if you are not there and ready to go, because I will probably be inviting you at least 5 minutes before, if not earlier than that, then yeah, it's disqualification. So rip on you. If you fail to do so, like I just said, you will be disqualified for that event. You will get 2 runs for qualifying, no practice runs once qualifying starts. So when you guys get in there, you do not get no practice. It's just like Formula Drift. Once their qualifying starts, once you are at the starting line, you are good to go. You don't get no practice runs. So then qualifying time slots are over a course of a whole day. All time slots will be listed at Central Standard Time. So just adjust to your time zone. If you need to Google it, Google it. Please, guys, I love helping you guys out as much as I can, but it just became such a big stress with FHDL. Don't ask me what time it is in the UK, what time it is in Australia, what time it is in New Zealand. Don't ask me all that stuff. Just get on Google and look up the time difference. They have something on there where you can type in what time it is in Central Standard Time and then click what time zone you're in, and it will show you what time that is, your time. But it's going to be on Saturdays, going from 8 a.m. It's going to be every hour on the hour, so from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. midnight Sunday. So we got, like I said, almost all day qualifying and a bunch of time slots you could pick, so it works to everybody's schedule. The one thing that's going to make us stand out, guys, that nobody else that I know of and that Zombie knows of that we're going to be bringing to the table is qualifying will be scored live. It will be scored right then. You will run your run. It will take maybe 2 to 5 minutes, and then you will hear your score on that run, and then you'll make your final run, and same thing there, and then you'll get you a final run or final score. And so that's one thing that, like I said, me and Zombie don't think anybody else is doing out there. We wanted to bring it because it's just like Formula Drift. We want to be close to them as possible, just to make it more fun for you guys. Qualifying order will be posted the next morning. Yes, we will probably be pulling all-nighters the weekends of events. So be thankful for that, guys, because we want to make it fun for you. So we will literally be running qualifying all day, all the way till the last session at midnight, if there is one. Immediately scoring everything afterwards, maybe get 2 hours of sleep, if that, and then be back at it again the next morning for battles. We will be taking, for the driver search, we will be taking the top 64 drivers out of qualifying. So hopefully we can get a lot of you guys to sign up for that, and then into battles. And then out of driver search for this year, just because it's the first one, we will be taking the top 48 out of the event, and we'll have their pro license, per se, to compete in the 2020 season. After this year, guys, it will narrow down to a 32-car field for the driver search, just like you would any other event, and then we would be taking the top 24 to compete with the top 24 in points from the previous season. So make sure you're reading the rule book next season as well, because that will change. So for the 2020 season, we will be taking the top 32 out of that 48 from qualifying. So the 48-car field, we will be only taking the top 32 in the competition. Then that 32 will compete in battles. Moving on to the next section of 9, which is bracket battles. It will be the Sunday after qualifying at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And same thing, guys, just like qualifying, because what we'll be doing, we'll be doing, I'll have to look more into it. I think we'll be doing 4 lobbies, and then 1 final lobby, or we'll be doing 2 lobbies and then 1 final lobby. So if you are not there when your lobby starts, me and Zombie will have to discuss it more. But as of right now, when your lobby starts, if you are not there, you are basically disqualified, just like qualifying, because then we have to back out of the game, let you join back in, all that kind of stuff. Because I was thinking about doing drift meetups, guys, so that way you can tune your stuff throughout the event, and I still may do that, but I think I might do it to where it's a race, so that way once you're in, you are locked in. But I may, just because Formula Drift lets them mess with their cars in between runs, I might still do drift meetups. But they will be invite only, so still, if you don't make it to your lobby, you won't be able to run. So it will be a 32-car single elimination bracket. So when you lose, you are done. There is no second chance in the losers bracket like we used to. Driver search will be a 64 single elimination bracket as well, just with more cars, like it says. You can only get tires in between battles. So it looks like we did change it. I know earlier I said every 2 runs. We may let you guys vote on that. We may put a poll on Instagram. Whether you want to do it like ESDA does and do it. You know what? Screw it. I am making the call right now. We will allow you to get tires after every 2 runs. So I will ignore the tires thing in the bracket battles. So see, this is why I'm glad we're going over it, guys, because I missed some things. Chapter 10, or not chapter 10. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a rough week. So, anyway, Section 10, prizes. The winner prize. The winner will get the choice between a 1-year free Xbox Live Gold membership, which I do owe our past champion from FHGL, Preeminent, being that. So, I do apologize, Preeminent. I've talked to him. He understands. Preem, I will get that to you when I get a chance. And then you can choose between that or a free Plantronics headset. As you know, guys, I, myself, and Forza Drifting, as you can see, Forza Drifting Championships, we are sponsored by Plantronics, so we are able to bring that to the table. So then, this is also something that I don't think that anybody else is doing, that me and Zombie wanted to do, is we're going to set up the Twitch, guys, to where you can make donations, but instead of it going to us, what it's going to do is it's going to go towards a prize. So the viewer prize / giveaway, every $1 donation is 1 entry, and then the prize at the end of the season, we'll put in all the entries into a hat, or if there's a crap ton, into a trash can or something like that, and we'll draw out one, and you will win a Plantronics gaming headset. So we could be possibly giving away 2 of those. So then Section 11, scoring. I'm just going to skim over this, guys. It's another really long section, kind of like the Code of Conduct. I'm just going to go over the gist of it. So qualifying score, the highest score you can get is a 100-point run. So that's obviously if it's perfect. And then the way that is scored is the most you can get on line. So there's 3 sections. There's line, angle, and style, and then style has 3 sections within itself. So line, the most you can get is 35 points. We have a judge for each one of these guys as well. We have a line judge, angle judge, and style judge. So line, the most you can get is 35 points. Sorry, guys, I'm just trying to fill all this in for you. Angle, the most you can get is 35 points, and style, the most you can get is 30 points. So now within style, you have your initiation, most you can get is 10 points. You have your fluidity, which you can get 10 points, and your commitment, you can get 10 points. And that would be if you got a perfect score. So, if you guys ever want to be like, okay, what do I need to work on after, not after your qualifying run, guys, because whenever there's an event, it's going to be a busy weekend for our staff. So they're not going to be able to answer you those questions. Now, after the event, we can you guys can ask questions and be like, hey, what did I do wrong on my angle? Like, what did I get? And then so yeah, questions like that. So let me just skim through here, guys. Like I said, it's a big section. So I guess I'll read this little section here. Drivers are expected to start with a committed high angle initiation, drift through all of the outside zones and reach all of the inner clips with a maximum degree of angle and pace while making quick, aggressive transitions with no corrections or mistakes. Drivers that do not fill the outside zones, reach inner clips, or do so at a low degree of angle while making mistakes or corrections will receive deductions. Driving at the high difficulty level described by the judges, the driver is showing their level of vehicle control. Some deduction examples are a double initiation, tire off course, missing zones and clips, offline, or a lack of angle. Another thing I think we need to go over, because I think it gets misconstrued in a lot of competitions online, is incomplete runs. So if a driver does any of the following mistakes in a qualifying run or even battles, the driver will not receive a score, or if it's in battles, you won't get a run. It will be an incomplete run for that run, and therefore the run will be considered incomplete, such as spinning out, going opposite drift, which is drifting with the opposite angle required at that point on the course, and straightening, in other words, gripping up. So if we see you straight, guys, and you don't have tire smoke, we're going to be looking really closely at that to see if you gripped up. And it's just more descriptive in the criteria. Let's see here. So in battles, guys, the judges are looking for a certain criteria. Judges are looking for the driver that performs better overall in the tandem battle. But if the judges are unable to find a clear winner, one more time is called. The judges will watch both run 1 and run 2. Sorry, guys. They will also compare both chase runs and then determine which driver was the better overall driver once both runs have been completed. The lead driver goals. Guys, when you lead, we expect you to run the qualifying line. Try to run a 100-point qualifying run, even though it's not scored in battles. Run a chaseable lead run, meaning it needs to be clean. You don't want to have something that the chase driver cannot chase, because it'll put you at a disadvantage, obviously. And then follow the XL and decel map. That's kind of an old thing. I've thought about, I might make some XL decel maps, but as of right now, we're not doing that. You gotta remember, guys, this rule book has been going for about 4 years now, and there's still stuff in there I gotta edit. So then moving on to chase driver goals, initiate no later than, well, it says that, I guess there's a typo with the original guy. I had type up my rule book. Initiate no later than the lead driver. Maintain close proximity to the lead driver with as much duration as possible. Match or better the lead driver's angle and mimic the lead driver's transition and line throughout the course. Also, passing. This also gets misconstrued as well. Passing is actually allowed in FDC tandem battles. Passing is not required, but it's legal for the chase vehicle to do as long as all 4 of the following conditions are met. Meaning, guys, all these have to apply whenever you are doing an overtake. So the lead driver must be offline, like going off the driving line, or completely off course. The chase driver can only make a pass on an inside clipping point. So, guys, if it's a touch and go or an outside zone, you cannot pass. The chase driver can only make a pass on an inside of the lead driver, meaning you guys can't go around the outside of him if he's going too slow on an inside clip. The chase driver becomes the lead driver once the chase vehicle has fully surpassed the lead driver's vehicle. If there is contact during a pass, for the pass to count for the chase vehicle contact, or the chase vehicle contact must happen before, sorry guys, the chase vehicle contact must happen after a clean pass is made. For the pass to count, and if there is contact after a clean pass, the contact must be caused by the new chase vehicle the former lead vehicle. Now, so that means the first lead vehicle has to be at fault. The pass will result in an incomplete run if there is contact caused by the passing vehicle during the pass, if all the conditions are not met, and if it is not a clean pass. All right, so then let's see here. Contact, it's pretty self-explanatory. Whoever's at fault will be deemed at fault. And then there's some examples throughout the rule book, guys, of how they would look at things. All right, number 12, restarts. Block vehicle interference restart. So zombie will be running the block vehicle, guys. And the one thing I need to add in there too is that we're gonna do it kind of like FD, where the lead car can jump, or not the lead car, the chase car can jump first, as long as the lead car don't. So whenever the block vehicle moves, we're gonna be allowing the chase car to go first. So that means the block vehicle, when it moves out of the way, it'll be moving towards the side that the lead driver's on. But anyway, block vehicle interference restarts. If the block vehicle doesn't allow both drivers to leave properly, there will be a restart. Lag restarts. Here at FTC, we understand that lagging does happen in online games, which is why we allow this restart. During qualifying, each driver is allowed one lag restart. During battles, each driver is allowed one lag restart per battle. And then, so number 13, situations, controller issues. Any type of controller issue, such as it dying or just complete controller failure, will be deemed as a mechanical failure, in which case a mechanical failure were to happen during battles, there is only one call to be made, and that one call is that the driver will receive a 0, in other words, an incomplete run for that run. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Also, guys, I'm not sure, I don't know why it's not on there anymore. I'll have to add it back in. You guys do have competition timeouts if you guys are having lagging issues. So if you get a lag restart, you have the option to use your one. We give you 10 minutes just because we know it takes longer to reboot your stuff. We'll give you one 10-minute competition timeout, and you only get that one event. So like if you're in battles and you use your competition timeout, you cannot use it the remainder of battles. Same with qualifying. You use it in qualifying, you cannot use it the remainder of qualifying after you use it. So section 14, this is more of like for anybody watching. Broadcasting, well, it's a little bit for you guys too. Broadcasting every run, and we mean every run, will be broadcasted on Twitch and then uploaded to YouTube. So if you have sponsors, feel free to advertise for them, because they'll definitely be watching for it, I'm sure. So then section 15, social media, Facebook, and Facebook's on there, but we don't have Facebook anymore, guys. Just wasn't really working too well, and it's too much to keep up on. So we really just have the Instagram, the Twitch, and the YouTube. I got to change the Twitch, guys. I know it says Forza DC. It is actually FD Championships now. I will change that. So then moving on to section 16, you can contact us. Like I said, we don't have a Facebook anymore. Instagram is FDriftingChamps. T-Dub is the owner, event coordinator, and host. I got to add Zombies information in there as well. But on Xbox, it's TDub110, capital TDUBB, all caps, and then 110. And then Instagram is same thing, but lowercase TDub110, and then YT at the end. So it's better to contact us through the Discord or the Instagram. There's a bunch of categories in the Discord, just depending on what one you want to talk about. We're going to have a category for each round of the 2020 season. So, guys, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat right now because we're about to end this out. But, yeah, I will go into the rulebook right after I get off of this and immediately go change those changes that need to be made. That way you guys have the most updated info. So, like I said, driver search, guys. Sign-ups closed December 7th. Qualifying is December 14th, and battles are December 15th. So if you're wanting to run in that, remember sign-ups close at December 7th, and make sure that if you work, you request off that weekend. I already did that, so we are good to go. So definitely go check out the course preview it's on Instagram, which is just a run. It doesn't point out the clips. or anything, if you want to see the full course preview, go to Forza DC on YouTube. And again, guys, this is T-Dub 110, and well, I don't know why I said the 110. It's been a long week, guys. It's been a long week. But this is your host, T-Dub. This has been the announcement and Q&A stream, and we will keep you guys posted on any more updates. Thanks for watching, and again, FTC is presented by Plantronics Gaming and sponsored by Insane Labs and Top Label. All right, guys, keep it sideways.